I wanna ask you a question. Yeah, as obviously as a mental health advocate, as a mental health coach. Yeah. Do you think someone can fully heal? Yeah, without basically like healing their relationship with their mum and dad, with their parents fully.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk to me, because sometimes certain people say, part of the healing process, it involves forgiving and healing certain relationships, such as like with your family, your mom, your dad, or so forth. What are your thoughts on that?
I'll say, even when it comes to the thing of healing, I'll say we're constantly healing, because this life life will always show you shiggy. It's the thing about mental health. Yeah. Building mental resilience is part of mental health. I was deep in, like, if you're going to the gym and you're dedicated to the gym, you're dedicating yourself to be in pain every week, because you have to be pushing yourself to break the muscles or whatever, and then for it to be rebuilt. That's the same thing with the mental as well. We have to build mental capacity. And also, the negative feelings that we do feel and stuff, they are normal. And we would have things that might happen, but it's when you now know how to go through the process and not stay stuck. I'll say that is where the healing lies within. And going back to your question, like, for me, I'm no contact with my biological dad. I'm low contact with my biological mom. The thing is, my biological dad, I didn't really have a relationship with him. I only knew him when I was 13, and even then, he wasn't like my dad. And I've had a great relationship with my non-biological parents, so I know what that type of love feels like. And so it's like, you can't fool me. No, you can't fool me, but
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, and it's also a thing where obviously he's been through certain things.
Of course.
I get that. But even though you might be my dad by blood, we don't have a relationship.
Of course.
And it would be that relationship, if we had that relationship, that would make me want to, I miss this feeling, but we've never had that. So I can't miss something I've never had. And some people, because, and even with my biological mom, I'm low contact with her, because I know that if we spend too much time together, she's going to bring something up, and then it will just...
I would say as well, women, sorry to cut you, I say women, you lot, things are totally different to men's one. Like, we won't agree with each other, for example.
Yeah.
A woman's one's like, no, but what did you mean by that? So I get
it. Yeah, but the thing is, some people will still criticize me for being low contact with her. The thing is, I'm choosing to still have her within my life to a certain degree.
But you just know yourself.
But I know the degree within which I can have her within my life, and still allowing her, she still has the ability to have a relationship with my son.
Of course.
So it's a thing where people don't understand that I'm still choosing someone that has a track record or a pattern of letting me down, and then also bringing certain things up that don't need to be brought up. So literally, why would I keep on... Normally, I wouldn't have that type of person in my life.
Of course.
So I'm choosing to still have someone that would put me in a bad mental state in my life.
But you're trying to do the right thing and still...
Yeah, because I'm amicable with her. Like, everything's calm. I'm not like rude to her. That type of thing. It's just like love from a distance. 100%. And we don't have the best relationship, in a sense where we don't have that much to talk about at times. So it's like, people do forget that when you have relationships with family members, you actually need to have stuff that you like to talk to them about. It's actually a relationship as well.
Sorry to cut you off. This is why I always say to people, as much as we've got things going on in life, for example, it's like me and him, our family, for example.
Yeah.
One thing I love about us lot, we still have the same energy as if when we was young. Because he's gone through his life, I've gone through my life, but we've never allowed that energy to get to drift.
In between what we've got.
Yeah. I feel like once that happens, you start getting energy from outside. You get what I mean? Then energy from outside is not our energy. You can lose yourself within not being involved in your actual thing. So even down to sometimes, it's a good and a bad thing, but I feel like you see when some of us are aware of ourselves and we get to a point where we understand ourselves, I think sometimes that's good, because now you can start a fresh slate. And you don't know what your parents went through, for example, to a degree. So it's like, sometimes copying their route might not help you on your journey.